This video is on the river town of Franklin and the mighty Huon in Tasmania. History in this place just oozes out everywhere in Franklin. And so we begin the river town tour. As you can see, Franklin is a very welcoming town for travellers, caravanners and boaters alike. We've tied up to the public jetty. There's only one public jetty, but we've managed to stay there for a couple of days before we had to get off. The jetty is used by locals for swimming, as well as the launching ramp which is next to it for boats and that, but we haven't had any problems staying there. Anchoring also in the river is really good. It's a good, excellent bottom, 3-4 meters deep, and good sand holding, not much weed. The town of Franklin does have most things, like post office, cafes, fish and chip shop, even a laundry, plenty of places to eat. But the one thing it doesn't have is a supermarket. So what people do there, they go up to Huonville, up the river, which is only about, by tender, you're probably looking at about 25 minutes going up the river to get to there. And I think they got a Woolworths from the historic buildings. As we travel over town, they've done some pretty amazing things here. Like there's an oval a bit further up here next to the river, which has all been built on reclaimed land done by the locals over the years. This even had a velodrome included in it, which is now being taken over by the weeds and grass now. But they had bike races back in the 60s there, with big crowds to watch. Apart from the velodrome, the oval's still used. They do Aussie rules as well as cricket, so it's still well used that way. So there's a few historic buildings, to go and see. One of them is an old theatre called the Palais. They do have markets and things in there, but it's still used for local production, acting in that. Very nicely set up inside with pressed steel ceilings and everything. So it's still nicely looked after. And of course, for what Franklin's well known for is the Wooden Boat Centre. It's like the heart of the wooden boats in Tasmania here. They build, they teach, they do the lot here, restore. Most of these wooden rowing dories are all built here by the would-be students in the Wooden Boat Centre. And there's always projects on the go for restoration of the old vessels. Another building which is the Living Boat Trust. They also involved with all this. They do their own little projects and things in there. A lot of the rowing dories and that are sort of taken over by them, and people will come down in the mornings and go out for their morning rows. And from here we go over to the wooden boat sheds, who will play a big part in the Wooden Boat Festival. They'll be putting in quite a few different exhibitions and boats. Very interesting place to go and see. You need to go and see this if you do go there. Do the tours and things for $15. You can get a full tour of the place through the shop, through the workshops, and whoever's working on boats, you get to see the lot. And it's all very informative by the guide. Like this boat down here, Iola, that was brought in with plywood decks and cabin, and was asked if they can restore it. This is the sort of thing they do, and they have. Hue and pine decking, cabin taken off. It's been restored to its original state, and they also build there as well. There's photos of the students they had, the would-be shipwrights that they train. They build things like this. This has been built from scratch, clinker design, all copper riveted. And these are the workshops. Obviously not much happening there today, but projects on the go inside, as you can see. They also have a workbench set up in the shop, which is made for the children when they come in. It has all the tools on there for the kids to have a go on. They can use spoke shaves, hand-driven drills, all those sorts of things, planes, things that they wouldn't see normally. So all very informative for it. So we move on down the river. Plenty of places to walk in Franklin, apart from along the road, visiting all the old buildings and shops. There is an actual boardwalk you can do down here, as you can see down below, and it is worthwhile doing because there is a lot of wildlife along the riverfront. And very pretty, as you can see. Okay, moving on up the hill, you'll see various buildings now. Franklin's riddled with these old buildings. They're old originals, and they're everywhere. Like these old sheds you can get to by road, you can see them. They're all the original, probably early 1900s or late 1800s. So Franklin does have a number of churches, and what's associated with churches? Cemeteries. So there is some pretty old cemeteries in the place, which are worthwhile going and have a look at, because they are from the 1800s, a lot of them. So as we travel over town, you'll see down below all the caravans and that. It's one of the free caravanning spots, because they want people to come and stay, and you can camp there. There's a few photos of the different areas, like the old lockup that was shifted to there as a display. The old sheds again. Even these old stone walls, these are all convict cut walls. So as we travel down the river again, we're going to have a look on the other side. So there is another channel which runs north. At the moment we're travelling east and over to the other channel. This is all wetland area, pretty big bird breeding area. And we travel over to Craddock. And as we go from Craddock going up the river towards Huonville, we'll be going up towards Woodstock. Woodstock's known for its cherries growing in the area, and you'll see it's quite a wide river. It's quite deep. And as we head on up the channel, you'll see a channel cut between the islands. That's the Egg Island channel. And this is the one that they hand dug to connect from Franklin side channel into the Woodstock side. And so for anyone looking at going up to see Franklin, whether by caravan or boat, is a worthwhile town to go and see. It's just one of those towns you'll love, particularly if you buy a car and that. It's, you know, you've got Huonville further up to go and explore as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's probably a little long-winded, but it is a worthwhile town to show as we come to an end. Back to the boat.